Welcome to Altruism and Spiritual Development from Theosophy's Sacred Teachings in The Key to Theosophy, Part 1 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Madame Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, vegetarian, was born in 1831 into a noble family in Ukraine or Urane. As a child, young Helena displayed a gift for clairvoyance, as well as an interest in metaphysical phenomena. Years later, she traveled throughout Europe, the Middle East, and India, studying with various teachers and Sufi saints. Following the guidance of an Indian yogi named Mahatma Maurya, vegetarian, Madame Blavatsky co-founded the Theosophical Society. Theosophy, meaning divine wisdom, refers to knowledge that comes through spiritual experience rather than intellectual understanding alone. The Theosophical Society is dedicated to uplifting humanity through a realization of the oneness of life and the wisdom underlying all religions. Madame Blavatsky wrote several important books on theosophy, including Isis Unveiled, The Secret Doctrine, The Key to Theosophy, and The Voice of the Silence. The Key to Theosophy unlocks the door that leads to a deeper study of theosophy. In contrast to other theosophy volumes, it is written in simple explanatory language. Readers are thus able to more easily understand its use for excerpts from The Key to Theosophy. What is practical theosophy? Duty. The inquirer questioned, why, then, the need for rebirths, since all alike fail to secure a permanent peace? The Theosophist responded, because the final goal cannot be reached in any way but through life experiences, and because the bulk of these consist in pain and suffering. It is only through the latter that we can learn. Joys and pleasures teach us nothing. They are evanescent and can only bring in the long run satiety. Moreover, our constant failure to find any permanent satisfaction in life which would meet the wants of our higher nature shows us plainly that those wants can be met only on their own plane, to wit, the spiritual. The inquirer asked further, is the natural result of this a desire to quit life by one means or another? The Theosophist replied, if you mean by such desire suicide, then I say, most decidedly not. Such a result can never be a natural one, but is ever due to a morbid brain disease, or to most decided and strong materialistic views. It is the worst of crimes and dire in its results. But if by desire you mean simply aspiration to reach spiritual existence, not a wish to quit the earth, then I would call it a very natural desire indeed. Otherwise, voluntary death would be an abandonment of our present post and of the duties incumbent on us, as well as an attempt to shirk karmic responsibilities, and thus involve the creation of new karma. The inquirer questioned, but if actions on the material plane are unsatisfying, why should duties, which are such actions, be imperative? The Theosophist explained, first of all, because our philosophy teaches us that the object of doing our duties to all men and to ourselves the last is not the attainment of personal happiness, but of the happiness of others, the fulfillment of right for the sake of right, not for what it may bring us. Happiness, or rather contentment, may indeed follow the performance of duty, but is not and must not be the motive for it. The inquirer asked, what do you understand precisely by duty in theosophy? It cannot be the Christian duties preached by Jesus and his apostles. The Theosophist answered, you are once more mistaken. What you call Christian duties were inculcated by every great moral and religious reformer, ages before the Christian era. All that was great, generous, heroic, was, in days of old, not only talked about and preached from pulpits as in our own time, but acted upon sometimes by whole nations. The history of the Buddhist reform is full of the most noble and most heroically unselfish acts. Be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another. Love as brethren. Be pitiful. Be courteous, not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise, blessing was practically carried out by the followers of Buddha several centuries before Peter. The ethics of Christianity are grand, no doubt, but as undeniably they are not new and have originated as pagan, non-Christian traditions' duties. The inquirer questioned, and how would you define these duties or duty in general, as you understand the term? The Theosophist clarified, duty is that which is due to humanity, to our fellow men, neighbors, family, and especially that which we owe to all those who are poorer and more helpless than we are ourselves. This is a debt which, if left unpaid during life, leaves us spiritually insolvent and morally bankrupt in our next incarnation. Theosophy is the quintessence of duty. Those who practice their duty towards all, and for duty's own sake, are few, and fewer still are those who perform that duty, remaining content with the satisfaction of their own secret consciousness. It is the public voice, or praise that honors virtue and rewards it, which is ever uppermost in the minds of the world-renowned philanthropists. Modern ethics are beautiful to read about and hear discussed, but what are words unless converted into actions? If you ask me how we understand theosophical duty practically, and in a view of karma, I may answer you that our duty is to drink without a murmur to the last drop whatever contents the cup of life may have in store for us, to pluck the roses of life only for the fragrance they may shed on others, and to be ourselves content but with the thorns, if that fragrance cannot be enjoyed without depriving someone else of it. The inquirer inquired, what do you consider as due to humanity at large? The Theosophist retorted, full recognition of equal rights and privileges for all, and without distinction of race, color, social position, or birth. The inquirer continued asking, when would you consider such due not given? The Theosophist replied, when there is the slightest invasion of another's right, be that other a man or a nation, when there is any failure to show him the same justice, kindness, consideration, or mercy which we desire for ourselves,